Well, hi, everybody. My name is Carla Archer, and I'm here today with 𝗖𝗄𝗄 Water Solution. I'm one of the owner-operators of 𝗖𝗄𝗄 Water Solutions, along with my husband here in Saskatchewan, Canada. And we've been distributors for 𝗂𝗄𝗄 Solutions for the last 4 years. And I'm privileged and honored today to have a special guest with me. Ward Prine is joining me, and Ward is also the Director of Sales and Strategic Accounts with 𝗂𝗄𝗄 Solutions and oversees operations and customer relations. Welcome, Ward. How are you today?
Hi, Carla. Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm great. Thanks for joining us today. I've been working with Ward for several years now, and Ward's here today to help us learn a little bit more about Pure Aqueous Ozone and the many benefits it has for you, your home, your family, and your business. So thanks again, Ward, for joining us. We're excited to learn more today about Pure Aqueous Ozone, what it is, and some of its many benefits.
Right. Awesome. Well, let me know how I can help. I'm looking forward to this.
All right. Well, take it away. Tell us a little bit about Pure Aqueous Ozone and what it is to start with.
Yeah. So Pure Aqueous Ozone, or aqueous ozone, people pronounce it kind of differently depending on where you're from, whether you're from Saskatchewan or from Omaha, Nebraska, right? So, but we are from Omaha, Nebraska. We are a manufacturer of on-site, on-demand pure aqueous ozone. And really what that means is what we do is we take tiny little bubbles of ozone gas and we infuse it into water. So therefore it's called aqueous or aqueous ozone. So that's, in general terms, that's how you describe it.
Perfect. And what are some of the many benefits of ozone in of itself?
So ozone, when I tell people about ozone, it's kind of funny. I get asked this all the time. And I always tell people, I'm not going to tell you anything about something new, okay? Because it's not. Ozone's been around since the beginning of time. And men and women started using ozone clear back in 1907. Nice, France was the first city in the world to use ozone in a water treatment facility so that people could drink the public water. So from there, it spread all throughout Europe, came to the United States and Canada. So wherever you're from watching this right now, there is a very good chance that they're using ozone in your water treatment facilities so you can drink the public water. Bottled water companies like this one, use ozone to purify the water so we can drink at pools and spas. Even Disney World uses ozone in their aquariums rather than chlorine. Okay, so it's used because of the disinfecting and sanitizing properties that ozone has.
Right. And we'd like to talk about it being Mother Nature's cleaner, in that we are replicating that same process that happens when there's a thunder or lightning storm outside, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly how it's produced. And like in Mother Nature, the atmosphere and the stratosphere, when two oxygen molecules are introduced to lightning, they split apart. A weak bonded oxygen molecule will hook up to two others. And when that happens, you have three oxygen molecules. So in Mother Nature, when that happens, that weak bonded oxygen molecule will detach itself and attack any type of bacteria, pathogen, and kill it on contact. So in a rainstorm, you smell that rain up there in Saskatchewan, right? So what that is, you're smelling ozone. So it's Mother Nature's way of preserving the environment. And we do that same exact thing with our technology. We produce that ozone molecule on site, on demand, in our residential units, in our units for our JanSan industry, for universities, schools, jails, things of that nature.
Right, exactly. So when those when those O2 molecules break apart, become singlets, they form O3, and O3, if you look at the periodic table, is ozone. Exactly.
Is ozone. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like you mentioned, they're very unstable. So we're going to talk a little bit more about the equipment coming up shortly. But can you tell us a little bit about, what you're saying? Then it's a great oxidizer, a great cleaner. But tell us more about nanobubble technology that we find in our 𝗂𝗄𝗄 solution product.
Right. So when we were when we first started in 2010, the owners of our company, who are from Omaha, Nebraska, they wanted to make sure that our engineered water technology was far and above what others were producing in the market. And so we spent about 4.5 years in research and development. And part of that was developing our technology in a nanobubble level. So when I talk about those little ozone bubbles, Carla, We're talking about nanobubble level. So they were able to get it at the nanobubble level, which is about on average, about 300 nanometers in size. So they're microscopic, and that's highly important for our pure aqueous ozone, because what we do is we infuse those tiny little nanobubbles into water, and because they're so small, they're soluble within the water. And so when we spray onto toilets and urinals in our more of our facility cleaning applications, or at home when we're spraying onto surfaces, just think of those. Remember that old commercial? I forget what the name of it was, but the tiny little bubbles. Okay.
Oh yeah, scrubbing bubbles. Yeah.
Scrubbing bubbles. That's right. Yeah, scrubbing bubbles. So that's, in my mind, that's kind of what you see. You're not really seeing it when you're spraying because they're microscopic, but there's those tiny little bubbles of nanobubbles that are all over oxidizing the surface. So our technology in itself is one of the most powerful oxidizers in the world, but it's also one of the most powerful deodorizers in the world. So it's highly effective and really helps us in the cleaning process.
Right, and how we like to explain it to people too, it's like you've seen a pop. When you pour it and the bubbles start to come out, those are macro and micro sized bubbles. And
that's right.
Then after a while it goes flat. So nano bubbles, which you cannot see with your naked eye, like you said, it's microscopic. This allows the solution to stay in, or the ozone, pardon me, to stay in the aqueous solution longer.
In the solution, yep, that's exactly right. Yeah. So it stays in the solution more, therefore it's more soluble within the water. So it stays within the water, intact in the water, for a period of time. Now, ozone does have a shelf life. Okay, it has a half-life, so it does deteriorate rather quickly. But because we have it in a nanobubble form, it really is fantastic for us in our cleaning purposes.
Right, so that gives them longevity to the solution then by having that nanobubble technology.
That's right.
I'd also seen a picture, and with nanobubble technology, those little bubbles get into the porous surfaces easier. I've heard a comparison. It's like cleaning a table off with basketballs or cleaning them off with tiny little pellets, if you will.
Yeah, right.
Compare the bubble size.
Yeah, that's right. That's the macro bubbles, the basketballs, and the micro bubbles, and then the nano bubbles are the tiny little pellets, if you will. Yeah, right. That's so right.
See where those would fit into grooves and areas where
cracks
you really want to get
crevices. Yeah, that's right.
A deep clean that much better. So when we're talking about ozone, we want to make sure that we're comparing apples to apples, meaning parts per million, aqueous state, airborne state. Could you talk a little bit about some of those differences? So because sometimes there's a stigma, or people may be, well, we've heard about ozone before, but here's what we're talking about here. It's something a little different.
Yeah, there's really kind of two kinds of ozone. There's ambient ozone, which is gaseous ozone that's put into the air. And if people think about well, they're still out there, believe it or not, the hotel rooms that are smoking rooms. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times in the hotel industry, they put an ambient ozone machine in that smoking room after the person leaves that room in order to deodorize it. And ozone gas goes into the room, and it does a great job of deodorizing and helping clean that room. But because it's gaseous in nature, you and I wouldn't want to be in that room because it affects our respiratory system. If there's too much of a good thing, it's not good for us. And ozone gas, when it's produced at that level, it does a great job, but it's a deterrent. So it's going to affect our eyes. Our eyes would start watering. It would be hard to breathe, and we'd have to get out of that room. Ours is totally different. We're only producing our ozone level about 1.5 parts per million by weight. So it's a very safe amount of ozone. And keep in mind, it's aqueous ozone. Those tiny little bubbles of ozone gas are being put into the water. So therefore, they're very, very safe to put in the water. Actually, so safe back in 1982, I think it was, is when the FDA and the USDA said that aqueous ozone is fine for food contact surfaces. And in Canada, we're approved by Health Canada and even a hand sanitizer in Canada.
Yeah, that's right. Health Canada has approved us for those things. And so it's really important, if you are going to be doing some research about ozone, its applications, that you are looking at the same parts per million, the same application, be it in aqueous form or in that airborne form.
Right.
Ozone in of itself works the same way, either application, but those are some really good things to keep in mind when you're doing your own research. Now, you said 1.5 is what we're able to create, and now that's dependent sort of on your water quality, but at what point or what is the measurement that you need for ozone to be effective?
At 1.5, it's highly effective coming out of our applications, whether it be our caddies, our fill stations. And then obviously it has a half-life to it, so it's going to deteriorate over a certain amount of time. But even at 0.2, 0.3, aqueous ozone is still an effective cleaner, and we're not going to get down to that level for some time.
Right. And we always recommend, you know, the fresher, the better that you use it, but
Yep.
that it does have that longer shelf life, and with our nano bubble technology being so. So
Right.
some of the certifications we have, we just talked about our Health Canada approval. We are also approved by the FDA and the USDA, correct? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're also Green Seal certified, which is highly important to have that. So if you're looking at different engineered waters, for example, you just want to make sure that those companies have done their homework and they've done the things necessary to make them viable and legitimate. And we've put a lot of our resources in those certifications, like the ones that you talked about, including Green Seal certification, which is very stringent qualifications to do in order to become Green Seal certified. It's not just a check that you hand over to them and then they say, okay, you're Green Seal certified. They actually vet you. They come into your facility, make sure that everything that we say in our marketing pieces is everything that we're doing, and we have to prove that to Green Seal certification. We're also Clean Seal certified, and we're Wool Safe certified. So our product is good for any type of carpet whatsoever. And as you know, and we'll probably get into a little bit later, our applications, but one of them, our caddies, not only is good for hard floor surface cleaning, but it also converts into a carpet extractor as well, which is fantastic for custodial crews out there in universities, schools, etc.
Absolutely. We've had some amazing results and pictures and stories come to us using aqueous ozone to clean carpets as well. You can put an upholstery tool on there so you can clean chairs, furniture, whatever the case may be.
Yep.
So do you want to talk a little bit about some of the testing that has been done on our product?
Yeah, I mean, we've had when we first began in 2010, you know, we wanted to get legitimate, we wanted to get prepared for the market. And then in 2015, we did a lot of third-party studies with the University of Nebraska Medical Center, UNMC. And so they've done studies for us as a third-party lab, which they're one of the most respected labs in the world, and one of the most respected hospitals in the world. And so they've done very detailed reports and studies on our technology itself. So on bacteria like E. coli, Listeria, and things of that nature. So we've done a lot of different studies with our technology with UNMC to help people understand how effective our technology is compared to traditional chemicals that are out there.
Right, and just to mention that too, you know, I think if you Google aqueous ozone or aqueous ozone, the thing that you will see the most is the report that it's 50% stronger and kills more than 3,000 times kills bacteria, I should say, more than 3,000 times faster than bleach.
Right.
Which is fairly significant because we're going to talk about the safety and the natural components of ozone as we were talking about comparatively to something like bleach.
Right. Yeah, and that's highly important because when we first came out to market in 2014, people were kind of like, oh, who's Clean-Core and what do they do? And now people realize that engineered waters, specifically an engineered water company like us with Pure Aqueous Ozone, they're starting to recognize that they can replace traditional chemicals that they've used out there and replace it with a technology like ours that it's not just something that we're proving. It's, as I said earlier, ozone's been around since the beginning of time. We're simply using Mother Nature at its finest and being able to make sure that it's doing what it's doing for us and our customers.
Right, absolutely. And it is interesting as you learn more about it, how aware you are become of how aqueous ozone is used around us. Even when we go to refill our big water bottles, you turn it upside down, you push the sanitization button, and we've been told that that's aqueous ozone being generated in there. And that's right at our local grocery store. So
Right.
so it's
Yeah.
interesting to know that, it has been around for a long time. It is around us. And one of the things we talk about too is, okay, so then why haven't we seen it? Well, I believe that it used to be because there wasn't the nanobubble technology, that it was used in large facilities like food packing, fruit packing plants, and things of that nature. And what 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗄 Solutions been able to do is create something that is more suitable for the home, for the office, for your business, rec facility, those types of environments.
That's right. Yep. You're correct.
So there really wasn't something available in the marketplace and before that. And then 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗄 Solutions just taking it one step further with that nanobubble technology.
Right.
So
Right.
when we're talking about cleaning, I think sometimes there can be a misconception for people as far as what are the steps that a person should be doing in their regimen. And talk to us a little bit about that. You do, I should mention, too, come from a building service contracting company in Omaha, Nebraska as well. So you have years of experience behind you in that cleaning industry. So just tell us a little bit more about cleaning, disinfecting,
Yeah.
those types of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, and I think right now, especially with COVID-19, people are very interested in the cleaning process, and people are getting educated, which is awesome. It's a horrible thing that we're going through, but part of the positive things that are coming out of it are people getting more educated on the cleaning process. And really, there's three things in the cleaning world that you either are or want to strive to be, and that's a cleaner, a sanitizer, or a disinfectant. There's three things. So, and what we are is strictly a cleaner, okay, for our end users out there, our custodians. And what we do is we take the place of a lot of general purpose cleaners that are out there on the market. A sanitizer, if you get an EPA approved sanitizer, for example, here in the States, then you're getting a product that can kill 99.9%, a 3-log kill, on certain types of bacteria. And then if you're a disinfectant, then that product is going to kill 99.999%. So it's a 5-log kill. So those are the three stages in the cleaning process. And what we do, because we're using the properties of ozone, we throw a curveball at bacteria in that cleaning process rather than using a traditional chemical. And when we do that, it cleans that surface very well, and then you come back with either a sanitizer or a disinfectant on high touch points that follow up to help really get that disinfection or sanitizing level that you want to get on that surface. Now, with a disinfectant, though, we got to be careful in the cleaning industry because disinfectants are produced for a certain thing, and that's to kill things. Okay, they're a pesticide, so we don't want to overuse them. So right now, through the COVID-19 thing, a lot of people think that you should just go out in facilities and start spraying disinfectants all over the place. And you just simply don't want to do that because they're using too much of it is going to be harmful for you. And what we promote at 𝗂𝗄𝗄 is really using us as a cleaner, okay, and using the properties of ozone to help you clean on surfaces, and then coming back with either a sanitizer or a disinfectant on high touch points, like your entry doorways, your toilet handles, your urinal handles, toilet seats, and things of that nature that really make sure that you're using those products specifically for those areas to make your facility as clean and disinfected as possible.
Right, that's some really good points, and we run into, I think, the misunderstanding or misconception between the two, between cleaning and disinfecting, and that they're not the same application necessarily. Whereas,
right.
A disinfectant isn't designed to do the cleaning job, so you need
right.
to clean and you need to disinfect in many instances.
Yeah, the old saying in the cleaning industry is a cleaner makes a lousy disinfectant, and a disinfectant makes a lousy cleaner. Okay. And I've been a part of the cleaning world for some time because I've been, I have a building service contracting company in Omaha. I represent 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗄, and I know the cleaning industry pretty well. So, and you just cannot disinfect dirty. Okay, you just cannot do it. So, if you're out there in your facilities, most people understand this. You don't want to spray a disinfectant on a dirty surface. It's just not doing any good whatsoever. You got to clean that surface first and then come back with a sanitizer and disinfectant after that.
That's right. And that's where we say that we can replace, depending on your environment, maybe up to about 97% of your chemicals that you're using to clean. And that includes, you know, your glass cleaners, your toilet bowl cleaners, just general all-purpose cleaners in your facility or in your home.
Well, yeah, there's universities right there in the facilities in Canada, like, you know, Vancouver International Airport, to University of Calgary, to clear on the east side, Queen's University, that are, you know, they just started using our technology here not too long ago, but they're replacing traditional chemicals that they used to use and thought that was the only way. And now they're replacing it with our Pure Aqueous Ozone.
Well, one really nice thing too that we know about this technology, because we use it in our own home, and as I mentioned, we've been involved with Aqueous Ozone now for 4 years. What we often hear is, yeah, but green cleaners don't really work. And with Aqueous Ozone, it's a greener than green cleaning. It's Green Seal certified. Like you said, that's not an easy thing to get, and it is highly effective.
That's correct. It is. Yep.
Yeah.
No, and I think that's right. There is that stigma out there that goes, okay, there's all these green products. And I went through that myself as a building service contractor, trying to use green products. And what I found was they didn't work so well. Okay. They just didn't work so hot. And then when I actually started using CleanCore, and then now I represent them, I mean, it truly is Mother Nature's cleaner, and it just does a wonderful job.
It does, and that speaks volumes, you know, as well about the product, Ward, is that you came from that service industry, found a product that you used and loved so much that you got behind it, and you know,
right.
Now affiliated with the company in of itself. I remember when we first got our fill station in our home, I was like, okay, I'm a very clean person and I like to clean a lot. And I thought, let's give this stuff a go. Well, I couldn't stop myself. I was like, I just want to see what it's going to do next, because from my windows to glass to my shower, my washing machine, just everything was so much easier to clean. And I knew what it's like to clean. So when you can see that difference, there's no question about
that's right. Yeah. And when you're doing it, you're going, wow, this stuff really works. And I can breathe it in. I'm not breathing in toilet bowl cleaner every day or other types of products that are toxic in nature. And so, it makes you feel good about what you're doing.
Absolutely. And we're going to talk about some of the benefits of that shortly. So now we've been talking about Aqueous Ozone. We've been talking about our nanobubble technology. Let's talk about what kind of equipment we have that creates this technology for people to use at home or in their business.
Yeah. So we have several different kinds of product lines. And as you know, we first started out in industrial settings. Okay, so we put our technology in huge food processing plants, like chicken processing plants, and produced our on-site, on-demand Aqueous Ozone at 25, 30 gallons per minute, 100 gallons per minute, going through the piping stations of those facilities, with downstations to spray on chicken and machinery and things like that. So that's what we started out in. And then we still have that company. It's called TetraClean, is what it's called, and that's our sister company for industrial purposes. And CleanCore, what we have, we thought, hey, we could do it in those big facilities like that. We can scale it down, and we can actually put it for the Jansan market. So what we have are portable cleaning units that are called our 𝗙𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 functional, portable, no-touch cleaning machines that are in the cleaning industry. And no-touch cleaning machines have been introduced to the cleaning world probably for the last 20 years. And 𝗂𝗏𝗂𝗂𝗂 is one of the first ones to actually do that. Wonderful company. They've done a wonderful job. And they're kind of the gold star, if you will, no-touch cleaning, type of company to go after. So what we do is we do that same exact thing. We produced our clean core caddies that are very similar to a 𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂𝗂, but you don't put chemicals in them whatsoever. So you fill them up with cold water, and then you turn it on, and we're producing our aqueous ozone on site on demand out of a spray wand that you spray onto toilets and urinals, partitions, floors. And then we have a powerful vac system that's on board that then, instead of using a mop and a mop bucket, you're using a vac system with a squeegee head on the end of that wand that sucks up all that debris from that floor and just gets it crystal clean for your schools and your universities and different facilities.
I have some pictures that I'll show as well. And just to go back on the 𝗂𝗂𝗃, what you've done is taken that standard 𝗂𝗂𝗃 and retrofitted it with the equipment that creates the aqueous ozone right on demand.
That's right. Yeah. So when you take a look at our 𝗂𝗂𝗃s, you're going to see that it's a nice, pretty looking blue with a gray type of color on the bottom of it. And on the bottom of that unit is where our technology is at.
Okay,
so just like in nature, you know how lightning creates the ozone molecule? Well, our lightning is on the bottom of that 𝗂𝗂𝗃. And so we're able to create that ozone molecule on site, on demand, and fuse those tiny little bubbles of ozone gas into the water and use it for normal day applications for our custodial crews.
Well, I'll just pull up pictures maybe, and then we can just talk about them a little bit more. Just give me half a sec here.
Yeah.
Share my screen. Okay, so I kind of have a collage. So Ward was talking the top three. Those are the 𝗂𝗂𝗃s, and you can see the blue and the gray, right?
That's right. Yep. So there's the blue and the gray, and there's three different 𝗂𝗂𝗃s there. One is a clean core 𝗂𝗂𝗃 that produces our solution at low pressure aqueous ozone, about 15 psi, plenty of pressure to get debris off of toilets and urinals and things of that nature. Then we came out with a power 𝗂𝗂𝗃, and we just actually came out with our second version power 𝗂𝗂𝗃 here just about a few short weeks ago. And this creates our aqueous ozone at low pressure aqueous ozone, but then at just the touch of a nozzle, the custodian can turn that nozzle, and then he's got over 100 psi that shoots in a jet stream onto grout and corners and flush valves and things like that. We found that people, custodians in general, like me, we want more power. Okay, and this allows them to have that power that really kind of competes against a 𝗂𝗃, if you will, that company that I mentioned earlier, and gives us that ability to have higher pressure in situations where we need it.
Could you just
and also,
sorry to interrupt you, Ward, but could you just mention why we would need to switch that that pressure? Because what happens to ozone when it's under too much pressure?
Yeah, so that's why we're producing ozone at a low pressure aqueous ozone, about 15 psi. So the one nozzle on there is strictly for our aqueous ozone. So when you have it on there, and it's a green tip, okay, that's on the spray nozzle, and so it's very identifiable to the custodian. And what it comes out in a fan spray, okay, and it's aqueous ozone at low pressure. We don't want it at high pressure because it will take our solution or take our product out of solution, if you will. It could take our nanobubble technology and make it less effective, okay, for the end user.
It collapses the bubbles, so to speak.
It does. When it comes out of the nozzle, if we created 100 psi, for example, and tried to produce aqueous ozone, you're really just going to spray water out of there. So we've engineered our product so that our solution's coming out in that fan spray at about 15 psi, providing 1 to 1.5 parts per million of ozone by weight for our custodial staff members to spray on those toilets and urinals and things like that. And then when they turn that nozzle on that power 𝗂𝗂𝗃, now they've just got pure water. It's water. It's not ozone that's coming out as a rinser, if you will, that will just come out in a jet spray and get into grouts and flush valves, corners, and makes it highly effective tool, for the custodian.
We have one of our clients who uses it in a prison facility, and they really like that feature to get some of the gunk off the walls and whatnot. So yeah, it's
right.
We have a couple of them that are using it in a few of those kinds of facilities. So
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's where it's highly effective, is having that. And actually, we just came out with this power 𝗂𝗂𝗃, and we've had universities across the country already start ordering them. We've got back orders of those power 𝗂𝗂𝗃s already. So and because this Power Caddy now, it not only has that ability to produce low pressure aqueous ozone, it now creates high pressure, but it also has a 1.0 fill station that's on the unit itself, okay, which creates low amount of ozone, but in about a gallon a minute to fill up spray bottles, and then also rinse out the debris tank on the Power Caddy. But also is used as a drain system for the fresh water tank. So it's a great new features that we have on the new Power Caddy.
Right. And it is really nice too, like going to the caddy features in of itself. If you have like say a hockey dressing room, for example, and you're going in and you know that the surfaces can handle water and you can spray the entire room down, well, you're getting a deeper clean, you're getting that deodorizing in there as well in way less time. So far more effective, but having that little bit of ability to fill up a spray bottle for the surfaces where you can't spray direct with the caddy is a really nice feature.
It is. It's a great feature. It really is. It's wonderful. So it's gotten great reviews already because we've got about we just came out a couple of weeks ago. We've got about 10 of them out there at like University of Central Florida, and who are big proponents of our technology, and they just love the new features.
Oh, excellent. And then we got the mini caddy. It's just a perfect size for depending on your location.
Yeah, the mini caddy is half the size, so that has 6 gallons of fresh water and 6 gallons of debris water, compared to our caddies that have 12 gallons of fresh water and 12 gallons of debris water. So it's our Danny DeVito of our Arnold Schwarzenegger. Okay, so it's the smaller guy, but even though he's small, he's very effective. Great for smaller schools, smaller facilities, like C-stores are a perfect setting for a mini caddy because it's easy to wheel it around. You don't need much space to store it, and all of these, keep in mind, not only are for hard floor surface cleaning, but also convert into a carpet extractor as well. That our clients can get a separate carpet extractor wand that they just hook right onto there, and then they're able to get spots and stains throughout their facility.
Yeah, we've had a lot of our customers who've chosen the caddy for that multifaceted functionality because they were paying somebody else to come in and do the cleaning for them. And so now they're able to clean their facility on a regular basis. Plus they have a system to clean the carpet. Some of them also have the upholstery tool, as I mentioned before, so they can do their fabric chairs, vehicles, different things of that nature.
Right. Yeah. So it's what we tried to do is not create, Carla, a solution, a product. We've also put our solution, which is highly advanced technology, Pure Aqueous Ozone, but we've partnered it with great equipment that is common sense equipment for the Jansan industry.
Right.
So like the next ones you're talking about, like our fill stations are our next ones. So we have our 1.0 fill station that produces our solution at approximately a gallon per minute. And then we have a 3.0 fill station that produces our solution at 3 gallons per minute. And again, these are common sense pieces of equipment that we can put in a custodial closet, if you will. The 1.0 would be more for you mount it in a custodial closet and then you fill up spray bottles with that. And our 3.0 fill station was designed to help fill up big auto scrubbers and carpet extractors for custodial crews and facilities. So they're both awesome pieces of equipment. And that 1.0 is actually, it's very diverse in nature, so it can be used for custodial crews, but it also can be used for home purposes, residential purposes. So you can actually get one of those, which I have here at my house, put it underneath your kitchen sink and put it into your tap water and have a separate faucet that you press a button, and that's aqueous ozone that's coming out, and you can use that for fruits and vegetables and chicken and meats, and also used for cleaning purposes throughout the house.
Right. And let's just talk a little bit about that. So the fill stations you'll see are in the middle line. The 1.0 is on the right hand that I'm facing. It says up at the top, it's the smaller blue one, and the 3 is more of the industrial, but some people may have that in their home as well. Hooks up to water and plugs into a regular outlet, correct?
Yep, that's right. Very simple to install. I'm not a real handy guy, so I'll probably have a plumber come in and install in my house. I know your husband and you are very handy, so you can do this yourself. And it probably would take Punch 10 minutes to install it, 15 minutes to install it.
Right.
So,
and it does come with the hoses and the hookups and everything that you would need for that. Once you're connected,
yep.
as Ward said, you basically flip on the switch. The ozone generators inside create the ozone. It infuses it into the water and dispenses as much as you need on demand anytime. So there's no additives to either one of our fill stations or our caddies at all.
Right. There's no additives whatsoever. So again, there's only 3 things that you need for our technology to work: the air that we breathe, cold water, and electricity, and you have our technology. So,
right. Perfect.
Yep.
Now look.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Finish up.
Well, and as we're going through this COVID-19, we've had so many people that have come to us and say, we're running out of our sanitizers, we're running out of our disinfectants and our all-purpose cleaners, that they used to buy. Because the supply just wasn't there. And with our technology, once you buy it, you have it, and it's there for you.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about some more here about the environmental benefits, the safety benefits, and whatnot to you. But right now, where people are a bit more high alert, a lot of extra cleaning and whatnot, what better way to do it than without a chemical, if you will? I know a lot of people will say to me, ozone is a chemical. Yes, I understand it's on the periodic table and it's classified as such, but not your regular chemical such as bleach or something of that nature.
Right. Yep.
Right. Perfect. Well, that's what we have in our home, and I know I use it on absolutely everything. As I mentioned, from my windows to my floors, my toilets to my countertops. I clean my glasses with it. We rinse out our mouth with it on occasion. If you have a cut or a burn, it's really great topically. I wash. Especially right now with the COVID, what I was doing is all my groceries I would bring home and I would clean everything off with aqueous ozone. That would be the packaging, absolutely everything. So it was really nice because one thing that we didn't mention too, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but there's no residue left behind because, as you mentioned, ozone is unstable. So once it's found that dirt, it's done its work, it returns back to oxygen and water.
Yeah, that's the great thing about it. Yeah. So, and that's what our custodial crews love, and our universities, our airports, so traditionally what you're doing is putting down like a neutral floor cleaner on the floor. And a lot of times we do the glug method as custodians, and we put too much of that in the mop bucket. And therefore you're getting too much chemical and residue left over on that floor. So when you walk into those floors, you kind of get that sticky feeling on your feet. With us, you don't have that because there is no residue left behind. Once that ozone molecule goes to work and attacks immediately, it just reverts right into oxygen and water. So there's no residue left over whatsoever.
Right. All right, let's finish up with these are some new things that we have with our laundry and our ice system.
Yeah, so we just came out with our new ice system, our CCS 1000. And that is for our commercial ice machines. And I don't know how much you know about commercial ice machines. I didn't know a whole lot about them until the last 6 months. Yeah. But commercial ice machines have a few problems. And the few problems are water and heat, okay, that are inside of those commercial ice machines. And what does that create? Creates a lot of mold, mildew, slime, and things like that. And what we do with our CCS 1000, it's a very small by profile piece of equipment that's about 8 inches wide by 8 inches tall, 4 inches deep. And we mount that right behind a commercial ice machine. And what it does, when that commercial ice machine wants to harvest ice, it will call upon our aqueous ozone rather than just the tap water coming from the building, okay, into that commercial ice machine to harvest the ice. And so what it does, that ozone molecule attacks all that mold and slime and mildew and cleans it out on a daily basis for the customer, okay? So it's not only helping prevent a lot of those preventative maintenance schedules that are very costly to the end users, but it's also providing bottled water quality ice. And it's amazing. And I know you've seen some of the videos that we've had, and And I suggest to your viewers that are watching this, go to our Facebook page, go to our Twitter, go to our Instagram, go to our LinkedIn pages, and take a look at our new videos that are touting our new CCS 1000. It's an amazing machine, and you're providing something that is very effective, but also great for the environment. And right now, people are like restaurants that were closed because of COVID-19. Their water's been stagnant. And because of that, there could be Legionella disease that's in that water, okay? And our unit has a Legionella kill claim, a 7-log Legionella kill claim with our technology on commercial ice machines. So it's really a no-brainer for those restaurants and food service industries. It's just a wonderful product to have at a low cost.
Yeah, it really is. And like you know, I didn't know a whole heck of a lot about ice machines before we got this ice system out. But wow, some of the pictures that I've seen of just how dirty an ice machine can actually be really has us second guessing. Well, before COVID, when we were out asking, when they say, do you want ice with that? We'd be like, no, thanks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. And now if you're a restaurant owner and you have one of our new CleanCore CCS 1000 machines, you can tout that and tell customers, hey, we've got the best ice in town, and because you do, and you will have it with our unit. And really what you're doing is you're promoting a very sustainable, environmentally safe product that's helping your patrons be more safe.
Absolutely.
Is what it's doing.
And it's super simple to use, as you mentioned. So
it is. Yeah.
We're excited to have that on board. That's for sure.
Yeah, good. And then the CCS 5000 is our commercial laundry unit. And that's right next to the CCS 1000 in your picture there.
Right.
And so we have not only the commercial unit, the CCS 5000, but also the CCS 2000L, which is our residential laundry machine. And what this does, it allows your residential washing machine or your commercial washing machine to have aqueous ozone brought into the cold and hot water cycles of your laundry, of your washing machines. And what ozone does in the laundry, it gets into the fibers of the fabrics, in the fibers of the fabrics in the washing cycle, and it does it because it goes into those fibers directly. It has like a spread out effect, okay, in the fibers. And when it does that, it really gets into the whites and the coloreds. It also has a drying sensation when it's in the wash machine, okay, because it actually spreads out those fibers in the cycle itself. And because of that, your drying time is less in your dryer. So it's and we don't know what the percentage is. We've had some customers say they're up to 50%, drying time savings. I would say, 20-30% less drying time is probably more accurate. And keep in mind too that we're not a silver bullet in the laundry cycles, okay? Because and we want to make that very transparent to our customers that are out there. Ozone does a great job on anything organic, okay? So in the laundry world, if you have organic substances, soil loads, if you will, like blood, urine, feces, which are very common, like in senior living facilities, we're going to do very, very well with those types of soil loads. But if you have petroleum type of soil loads, like a hotel, a lot of lipstick, shoe polish, suntan lotion, things like that, ozone doesn't do really well. So you're going to still have to have some chemistry with it, okay, right, in that laundry cycle. But even though you might need chemistry in a petroleum-based soil load, we're still going to drastically reduce the amount of chemistry that you were using. And chemistry, I mean detergents and things like that.
For sure. And, prior to CleanCore Solutions coming out with a laundry system that was ozone, we'd been using alternative forms of cleaning our clothes. And did you know that 2% of the weight of your clothing is actually chemical residue? So not only is it harder on your clothing, but you're also absorbing that through your skin every time that you're wearing
right.
It that's been washed with a traditional chemical cleaner. So
yeah, and ozone, when you're using our Pure Aqueous Ozone, you're using a product that's non-toxic, it's not caustic whatsoever. So when it's implemented into your fibers of your fabrics and your washing cycles, it's going to increase the longevity of your linens, if you will, microfiber towels, things like that, your clothes, because it doesn't have a toxic effect to it like normal chemistry and detergents will have.
Right. Yeah, it's just another great option to, take that step away from using chemicals and realizing that it's not always necessary. As you mentioned, with organic matter, and this goes for laundry or for any other matter, when we say we can replace about 97% of your chemicals in a facility, we too there are looking at things like petroleum. So if somebody gets grease on the floor or those different types of things, we still may need to have something on hand to deal with that.
Right.
But we always say, you know what, give it a go with aqueous ozone, because a lot of times we're pleasantly surprised at what its capabilities are in those environments still.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's great. You're being transparent with people, and that's the honesty of 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗄 and our distributors like ecozone, and there's a lot of companies out there that might stretch the truth, if you will, and we certainly don't want to do that. We're very transparent about what we do.
We always say too, we're not here to tell you that we're better than a chemical necessarily. In some ways we may perform better, but we're here to offer you a different solution to what you're working with. So if this is an option for you, hey, excellent. Right.
Yeah.
So we got one more little guy at the bottom. He's our spotter. And
oh yeah. Yep. That's our carpet spotter, if you will. It's a 3-gallon spotter, very popular in traditional Jan/San custodial closets, if you will. So this is designed to, it's got our technology right on board. You just fill it up with 3 gallons of water. And so our technology comes out in the tip of the application wand, but also the application wand also is sucking up the debris at the same time. So it's great for chairs, upholstery, things like that.
This would be
small,
great
small type of spots
for vehicle detailing, car dealerships. Yep. We have several car dealerships who are using the fill stations, and they're saying, hey, when our existing extractors are done, we're going to the spotter, because right now they're taking solution from the fill station, putting it into the equipment they currently have and using our solution. But when that machine is done, then they're going straight to the spotter. So
that's right. Yep.
A lot of exciting things. Let me just get back to the screen here. That was excellent going through. We've got a lot of exciting things on the go, that is for sure. When we first started out, we just had a fill station, one caddy, and over the years, well, even over the 4 years that we've been with 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗄 Solution, it has really grown in what we're able to offer people. Now, it's exciting times, isn't it?
It is, and it's so exciting because we've had a record quarter, first quarter, record month in March, and our second quarter is looking wonderful too. And that's telling us that people are recognizing that there's companies like us that are out there that are different than what they've been using, and people are looking for that next thing, that change in the way they're cleaning their facilities or doing things at home, because what they were doing may not have been working, and with our technology, we're going to help them become even more effective as cleaners.
And it really is about education, because we often jokingly will say, we didn't make this stuff up in our basement. Ozone's been around for a long time. Aqueous ozone's been around and been used for a very long time. It's just that we aren't aware that this has been an option. So
that's right. Yeah.
So throughout our interview, we've been talking a bit here and there, but let's just hone in on some of the cost savings that come along with choosing to use aqueous ozone solution that we create.
Okay. Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was going to say, you mentioned with the laundry about the energy savings for drying the clothes, but also this is a cold water application, right? In any of our products, except for laundry, which you can have the option of hot, right?
You can. Yep. You can have the option of hot. And in hot water, just so you know, the ozone molecule is very active. Okay. So, and the hotter the water, the more active the ozone molecule is, but it also deteriorates rather quickly. So in that hot water cycle in a laundry application, the ozone molecule, even at 160 degrees, is going to be effective, but not for very long. But it's still going to be effective. So that's why we want it in that hot water cycle. Okay.
Right.
But you talk about energy savings, you know, like in the laundry. I mean, you've got savings with the energy because of the drying sensation that we have with our fabrics in the washing cycle. You put it in the dryer, there's less drying time, so you're not going to be using that dryer as much as you used before. It's also cold water applications with our JanSan products and our home units. You don't have to use hot water, and we prefer that you don't, okay, that you're using cold water in our applications. And that way, cold water, the ozone molecule is going to last longer, okay, in a cold water environment more than a hot water environment, okay? So, but also like the savings in time that you're going to have with, like right behind you, the 𝗂𝗂𝗪𝗂𝗂𝗪, okay, those are so effective for our facilities because you're using a no-touch cleaning machine that, like the 𝗂𝗪𝗂𝗂𝗪 unit that I talked about before, that's one of our competitors. But with them, you have a two-step process. You're applying the chemistry onto the toilets and the urinals, and then you're coming back with a rinse cycle. With our product, there is no rinse cycle. You're applying the solution, Pure Aqueous Ozone, and rinsing at the same time. There's not another, you know, type of stage that you have to put in your cleaning cycle. So we can really save, like universities at University of Central Florida, University of Calgary. We help them save up to 30–50% sometimes in restroom cleaning compared to their traditional ways that they were doing it before. So there's definitely a lot of energy costs and labor time savings with our technology.
Absolutely. And we always say too that it doesn't mean that you're not going to need your staff. It just means you can do a better job or get to more areas where you couldn't before, because I think across the board, that's always the main concern, is that there's not enough people and not enough time to do the type of thing that they would like to do. So this just allows you to be more effective in your job. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And that's what we hear from all of our customers, airports, universities, schools. You know, our custodians are being more effective and efficient in those restrooms, making them look cleaner and better. They smell like rain, you know, after you're finished cleaning the restroom, and they're out of there in 30% less time, you know, than they were doing it before. And then they could go into other areas of that facility and do other things that are important as well.
Right. And then the reduction in chemical costs, because as you mentioned before, this is on demand as much as you want. Once you have the equipment, it creates as much solution as you want to use, and you're not needing to buy chemicals other than, if, like we said, a disinfectant you may have on hand and a degreaser. So very minimal cost.
Yeah, yep. And we have air dryers on every one of our applications, and those air dryers are very inexpensive, okay? And we recommend on our caddies and our fill stations that you trade one out every 6 months to a year, and those are right around $30, I think, retail. So they're fairly inexpensive. Yeah. And
the reason for that, again, Ward, is because before you mentioned that we need dry air to create ozone. So why do we have an air dryer that needs replacement?
So that air dryer has little beads on the inside of it, desiccant beads that are inside of them, that take the moisture out of the air. Kind of like when you buy clothing, you get that little desiccant packet that's in there. That's taking moisture, you know, out of that environment. And what we want to do, that same exact thing. We wanted the driest air possible going into our technology, so that we're providing you, like with our JanSan products, between 1 to 1.5 parts per million of aqueous ozone by weight. That's going to be an effective amount of aqueous ozone to be a great cleaner for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So from an environmental perspective, you know, this is very environmentally friendly. We talked before about no chemical residues left behind. Talk a little bit about the low VOCs and what that means for people.
Yeah, so you know, with low VOCs, that is something that with our technology, like in a facility where you're traditionally, you know, using chemicals and the indoor air quality is not so hot, because when you're cleaning in a building, let's say a school, and you're cleaning in a restroom with chemicals, so that goes throughout the vent system, of that restroom, gets spread out into the classrooms. So your indoor air quality is jeopardized. With our technology, you're just using pure aqueous ozone, a non-toxic, low amounts of anything. There's nothing really that can be of danger or harm to anyone, and it smells like rain. And so your indoor air quality is enhanced in our facilities where you have our product.
Awesome. And then we have a reduced carbon footprint. And what we mean by that is, again, there's no ordering, there's no manufacturing, there's no shipping of chemicals or products to your facility. So that helps to reduce your carbon footprint as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
And then, if you traditionally mix a mop pail, say, with soap, and you've done your cleaning and you're pouring that water down the drain, well, all those chemicals are going down the drain and into our waterways. And as we talked about with aqueous ozone, is that it reverts back to oxygen and water. So we're doing a great job at keeping all of those toxins out of our water systems, out of our ponds, our lakes, our drinking water, and whatnot.
That's right. Yep. And that really is fun to see that, Carla, as you know, like at University of Calgary and up in Canada, Queen's University to Vancouver International Airport, because that airport is truly one of the most sustainable airports in the world. And they chose our technology to have and to clean with on a daily basis, just because of the things that you're talking about, reducing the carbon footprint. They no longer have to order in, big cartons of chemicals and bottles and cardboards and plastics. And they've got our technology on site, on demand now, for them to use. So, and they're not going to run out of it. They always are going to have a steady supply of it, because they have it in fill stations and they have it in our caddies. But in Canada, Canada is one of those beautiful countries that people are very concerned about the environment, and we've seen our Canadian distributors and market just get bigger and bigger in the 4 years or so that we've been up there. So it's really exciting.
Well, we're proud to say that we're in over 30 facilities just in our province alone. And a lot of them are larger corporations. We won't name their names at this point. But when you talk about the Vancouver International Airport and you think, if they trust in it, they believe in this product for that kind of environment, then this product is well suited for your home. There's no question, or your small business, or where you may be thinking about considering this, because it's safe to use around kids and people, your clientele. It's great on pets, and it offers you that superior cleaning power that we were talking about before. Right.
Exactly.
So that's what I like about it so much, is that, the safety of it for myself, for my family, if I have a business, for my clients, my employees who are using it all the time. How many custodians do you know we've met who've completely lost their sense of smell because they've been exposed to so many chemicals over the year? Or there was that study that came out that I believe, and don't quote me, but after 10 years or 20 years of working with chemicals, it was like smoking cigarettes every day. That's the condition that their lungs were left in.
Yeah,
so this has a bigger picture other than just outside of the cleaning. It's about the people who are using this product and living and are around it.
Right, exactly. And I think a lot of people, that when they first hear about this, they go, "Oh, it's too good to be true," and I've heard that over and over. And but it's so fun to see once they actually see it for their own, and they see a demonstration of it, and then they start using it. How many comments we get daily, weekly, of people going, "Hey, thank you for introducing this to us. We love it, and it works." Because that's the main thing. You're always concerned, if you're looking at it for the very first time, does this stuff really work? And when you see that it does work, and also it's great for the environment, and it's sustainable. It's a wonderful product to have.
Yeah, it's a win-win for sure. And oftentimes what we do, especially for businesses, we do a demonstration so that we can show you the effectiveness of the solution. We've even done side-by-side comparisons with chemical, which we were asked to do. And what we love there is, again, we say, you know what, we're not saying we're better than a chemical, but when that tabletop dried, and this was in a restaurant setting, our side had no film and the side with the chemical had a film. So what are you eating? Right. What are your kids touching?
Yeah, that's right.
Mouths, you know? So it just kind of changes your perspective on things when you start looking at it that way. And it's good to know there's another option. You know, there are other options out there. So some of the facilities that we're in Saskatchewan are schools, we're in casinos, car dealerships, love this stuff. They say it's one of the best glass cleaners that they've ever had. What they love about it too is that they can use it on all of the surfaces in the car. So there's no overspraying and re-wiping of everything. We're in hotels. We have a plumbing shop that recently came on board to not only clean their office, but also to clean all of their vans, because their guys are going out all the time and they want to keep a handle on things. We're in a lot of recreational facilities in the province and a university, just to name a few here. So we're really excited about that. Yeah.
No, you guys are doing a great job. And if you're looking at this for the very first time and you're looking at 𝗂𝗄𝗄𝗏, they're one of our favorite distributors in the world. And Carla and Punch are great to work with, and they're fun to watch in a demo situation. So if you're a school or a university, you're thinking about this, give them a call and let them come in and show you what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been such a pleasure talking to you today, Ward. You've offered so much insight and information about aqueous ozone and clean core solutions equipment and what we have to offer people. And if you guys are interested to learn more about us, 𝗂𝗄𝗏, you can follow us on our Facebook page at 𝗂𝗄𝗏 Water Solutions, or at our website, 𝗂𝗄𝗏water.com. And that's linked back to the Clean Core Solutions website, which has amazing information, pictures, our product, detailed sheets about our products, and a lot of great information there. Or you can email us at 𝗂𝗄𝗏water@gmail.com. Now, before we go, I just wanted to mention a special promotion that we have going on now until midnight. That's Central Standard Time. That's here in Saskatchewan. So right now it's 3 o'clock my time on June 7th. And we're going to be offering $200 off of the 1.0 fill station. So that's the smaller version of our home or a small office fill station. So if you're thinking aqueous ozone is for you and you want to give it a try, we want to offer you a little bit of a special promotion right now to start shifting and changing and start falling in love with aqueous ozone the way that we have. So if you're interested in that, you can again get a hold of us on our website, our Facebook page, or by email. And I'd invite you to like and share our page as well. So if you know of somebody who has a small business or who has concerns about all the cleaning that they're going to be needing to do as they open up again, or they have maybe kids or families or themselves with allergies or chemical sensitivities, this might be something that they want to take a look at. So like and share that. We really appreciate helping us to let more people know about this option. And one more thing, what's your biggest takeaway from today? If you'd like to comment below, we would love to hear from you about what you learned about aqueous ozone and what really impressed you today when we were talking with Ward. So thanks again so much, Ward, for joining us. Really appreciate it. Thank you for everybody who's watched the video. We hope that you've learned some new information today and that you'll take a look at aqueous ozone as a solution for your home and your business. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye now.